we've been involved with KBR probably for about 10 years, really intensely involved for 8. So for a couple of years I was aware of KBR within the market, and there were things like cabling issues within schools where we'd perhaps get involved with them. But the really significant issue came in the days of harnessing technology grants. And we decided we were going to put Wi-Fi into all schools, so we went out to tender. And KBR was successful in winning that tender. You can imagine at the time we had 200 plus schools. It was a major job, not only to sort out the Wi-Fi across the schools, but all the little bits that schools don't appreciate, you know, asbestos, surveying the school's location, fitting it, arranging survey meetings. And there was an immense task there. KBR won the tender on in terms of good value, but putting the money aside, it was a real blessing to us that it was them, because of their experience of working with schools. They took on all that role. They made the bookings with the schools, they negotiated with the head and the caretakers and made visits in out of term time. They arranged the asbestos survey side of it and making sure that things fitted in. And I mean, a testament to it is the fact that we never had a single complaint from any single school. And from my side of it, it went in like clockwork. So that's what really impressed us initially. I mean, I could talk about the quality of the product. You know, at the time, I don't think anybody else had blanket wireless across their local authority in the same way that we had. You know, we put an high quality product in. And in fact, my wife, who works in a neighbouring authority, has recently gone to a headship there and assumed, because she came from Northumberland, that they'd have Wi-Fi throughout the school, and was astounded to find that they'd got one little router in the hall that somebody had plugged in the wall and nothing else within the school. So it enabled schools really in Northumberland to make quite a giant leap forward, you know, and something that KBR have kept on supporting, upgrading, helping us to maintain. And in fact, we're now moving from trapeze, you know, to maroon networks, and KBR have been largely involved in helping schools and seeing the way forward with that. It works. They're not aware of it. It just gets on, and we have no problems with it. So in terms of the schools, they expect technology to work. They don't want to be contacting me with problems. They don't want me to be having to chase up KBR. And I don't think now, what if it's 8 years since we put it in, we've had any issues at all with it ever. It's just run fine. The only reason we're making change is the explosion in use of things like iPads and mobile devices. And where at one time when we first put trapeze in, we'd have 1 or 2 devices in a classroom wanting to use the internet through Wi-Fi. We've now got schools, you know, with classrooms with 30 iPads in and things like that. The demand's exploded. And fortunately through KBR we've got a solution to move forward to meet that demand. I have no issues at all with KBR. I think of all the companies I've dealt with, and I've dealt with a lot, you know, negotiating contracts from the days when we had harnessing technology budgets, there's none I can think of that have been so dependable and reliable and so straightforward to work with. I'd have no hesitation in recommending either, not just because they're dependable and reliable, but as I said, they're at the leading edge with technologies. They can offer sound advice. They never push things. They provide you with options, and then by meeting with schools and reflecting on what their needs are, generally there's something on the table that's suitable for everyone. I mean, the value for money is tremendous. The backup and support is exceptional. And it's rare to find companies like that. You know, I've done a lot of deals with IT companies where it's jam tomorrow, you know, when you're talking to them, everything's hunky-dory, and the minute you sign the contract, it'll be in version 3, you know, and fortunately KBR aren't like that.